There was a woman at the seminar who was really upset because she says she never feels intimate or even slightly attracted to her husband. I said, on a scale from -10 to +10, where are you in your level of attraction, of wanting to be intimate, of wanting to make love to him? And she said, most of the time, -2. I said, well, has there ever been a time you'd have been above that? She said, the highest I've probably ever been with him is +2. I thought, I'm sure glad he's not here to hear this. But I said, okay, well, can you give me any idea why you've never had a +2? She goes, oh, I don't know. I said, well, have you ever felt more than +2 towards a woman in terms of attraction? And she said, no. I said, okay, that's good. Well, how about, well, let's do this. Maybe you've had no experience being at higher than +2, but you know what? I bet in the back of your brain, you know how to be at a higher level. If you would just create the possibility. I said, if you were totally committed to having a +6 experience, where you felt that level of attraction, not +10, not +8, just +6, what would you have to do? What would you have to believe? What would you have to think about? What conditions would you have to create in yourself or in the environment? She said, well, I'd have to stop being so uptight about it being an act. I said, interesting. What else? Well, I'd have to start realizing that this is really an expression of real love. I said, I said, what else would you have to do? She said, well, I'd probably have to make it feel more romantic. Because, all the men I've ever been with, it's never been really romantic. She said, maybe if we create an environment like a warm bath with candles. I said, where would that put it? She goes, gosh, that alone would put it at level 6, maybe 7. And then she started to get excited. You know why? She started asking a new quality of question. A new quality of question gives you a new answer. And gradually we got her up to +10. At the break, she ran out and came back and reported. She called up her husband and said, guess what? Hope you're prepared for me. I'm going to be home in a few days, and I don't know if I can last that long. You might have to come out here. She said, I got some surprises for you. See, we've got the answers if we just set a high enough standard. If we just start measuring where we are and being honest with ourselves and then committing to go another level and believing and knowing there's an answer that can take us there. It can work in any area of your life. You might say, well, Tony, this sounds great, but let's say I want to have a level 10 experience of doing my taxes. How in the heck could I do that? I'm not going to come up with ways to do that. Great. Start with where you are. The key always is to do 3 things. I've talked about these so many times. Number 1, see it how it is. Okay? See how it really is. Where are you right now? Don't kid yourself. See, I used to just, oh yeah, I'm really in great shape. No. Where am I really? It's good to know where you are to start with. Quantify it. Give it a number. Scale from -10 to +10. Where are you about doing your taxes? I'm a -2. Great. Now, don't try to jump to level 10. By the way, you may not even be committed to having a level 10 experience doing your taxes. Maybe it'd be great if you had a level 7 experience of doing your taxes, right? Or maybe even an 8. So then ask yourself, okay, what am I committed to having? And then graduate it. Say, okay, if I was going to go from -10 to at least neutral, what would I have to believe? What would I have to do? What environment, what conditions would I have to create inside myself? In terms of my beliefs, what I'd be saying to myself, what I'd be focused on, how I'd be sitting, where I'd be doing it. Would I need to get somebody to help me? What would I have to believe about this process? What would I have to do in the environment itself so I would enjoy it? Then say, okay, what would it take to be at +2? And you know what you just got to understand and what you got to trust is I can talk to you about this all day long. I can keep giving example after example, but the truth is the way you're going to know this works is by doing it. So if you did the exercise earlier, it worked with changing your level of desire. You can do this in any environment. Ask and you shall receive. If you set the standard and ask the question, you'll get the answer. But demand the answer. Don't give up too soon. That's the key here. By the way, you've been doing this throughout your life. You just haven't been doing it consciously. Again, it's just like questions. It's just like transformational vocabulary. There have been times in your life when you've had a great experience. You just didn't ask yourself what made it so great. Here's something I normally hate, and one time I enjoyed it. I went out and exercised, and I turned music on. Wow! I learned something. Turning music on makes it better. Well, guess what? You now have another tool. You have a way to increase the quality of your experience. While you're running, you get to listen to this music. That's pretty simple. If you start thinking in terms of how do I increase the quality of my life and measuring it, the more you measure something, the more conscious you are about it, the better it gets. And by measuring it more often, you're raising your standards and you're making having a quality experience not a should, but a must. That's so valuable. But you know what's most important out of this? Is for you to realize that no matter what you're partaking in life, what experience you're taking part in, even those things you once thought were horrible, you can change the quality of your experience.